So, John Walsh, Johnwalsh.
And official title.
I am the Denver District Attorney.
And how many months has that been now?
5 months now.
5 months?
Yeah.
How have the 5 months been?
It's been busy and lots to learn. But I was the U.S. Attorney for Colorado during the Obama years, so the prosecution world is not new to me. But this is definitely a different place. So.
You recently created or divided one unit into more units. Can you explain what that is I'm talking about?
So the family violence unit in the DA's office always handled domestic violence and child abuse cases. And what we've seen in the last couple of years is a real uptick in domestic violence caseload. So in 2024, we saw an increase of 12.5% in those cases. And that's notable in part because if you look at violent crime in Denver overall, it's come down dramatically over that same time. And in 2025, we continue to see that domestic violence set of issues increase. And so we came to the conclusion that the best thing to do was to divide the family violence unit into a standalone domestic violence unit with 8 prosecutors focused and specializing in domestic violence and 4 prosecutors focused on child victim cases and specializing there.
You said, 2025, we're already on track, it sounds like, to see that same kind of an increase. Is that accurate to say?
We're still seeing an increase in 2025. The domestic violence cases are kind of bucking the trend of violent crime going down.
And do you believe that it's actually an increase in the crime or an increase in the reporting of the crime?
I mean, that's always a great question. There is nothing that's gone on during this period that would suggest that suddenly more people are reporting domestic violence cases than were doing it before. To the contrary, because of some of the immigration issues, we're actually quite concerned that undocumented victims of domestic violence are hesitating to come forward now. So given that, I think it's a fair assessment that we're actually seeing an increase in domestic violence.
That is such a scary thought, to think that people, for one reason or another, but specifically if we're talking about the immigration issue in our country right now, are scared to report violence against themselves or maybe against a family member because of their immigration status.
It's been an issue for years, and it's really ramped up recently, and it's something that we try very hard. We have a lot of Spanish-speaking victim advocates and investigators, and also folks who reach out to the community. We're trying very hard to make sure that there's a comfort level in that community coming forward when they're victimized, but the reality is, given the environment we're in today, it's hard.
Are there any protections for immigrants if they do report a crime like this?
Well, there are, in fact. A couple of things. First of all, we never inquire as to someone's documentation status. And also, we can apply with the federal government, or we can help them apply for a U visa, which is a visa that permits them to remain in the country because they're helping with the prosecution of crimes.
And then I also want to talk a little bit more about the child cases.
Yes.
For children's cases, were there any notable increases within that as well?
Unfortunately, that is a steady kind of backdrop, and we have way too many cases of child abuse. And it's important to remember that in this office, our child abuse unit, our child victim unit, focuses on only the most serious child abuse cases. So that's sex assaults on kids, assaults that result in serious bodily injury, and then even homicides. So we're talking really difficult, tough cases, and that set of prosecutors, it's such a unique set of issues that get presented. There's always medical evidence involved. There's always the need for experts. And then you have witnesses, kid witnesses, that really presents a different set of challenges in a trial situation. So it's really important that we have folks doing those cases, whether they're the prosecutors, the victim advocates, or the investigators who really understand how to bring a trauma-informed, child-friendly approach to those cases.
And I'm interviewing with Rose Andom after this as well.
Great.
So I'm sure they're going to break down power and control dynamics within domestic violence cases.
Absolutely.
But I imagine the 8 prosecutors within this new unit are also very well versed in understanding power and control and how that plays a role in these kinds of cases.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing about domestic violence cases is that frequently the relationship between the defendant and the survivor of the domestic violence continues through the case. So that creates a real power and control dynamic that has to be addressed. And so our prosecutors and our teams always bring a trauma-informed approach to domestic violence cases. And I should really say something that's important to emphasize. Here in Denver, the Rose Andom Center for the Survivors of Domestic Violence and other organizations, the Denver Police Department, there is a whole package of services and agencies who do their best and do a tremendous job helping the survivors of domestic violence and also helping us make sure that we can achieve justice for those victims. And we're very lucky in Denver to have such a strong set of partners in the DA's office. All of us here really appreciate it.
Are you aware of any other DA's offices within Colorado that also have specific domestic violence units or child abuse units?
So many DA's offices have special victims units. In other words, they have a set of prosecutors who focus on multiple cases. Sometimes those units are divided into sub-units, domestic violence units. I think it's fair to say that the combination of our child victim unit and our domestic violence unit is the biggest in the state.
Is this at all modeled off of the human trafficking unit?
Well, we have an incredibly successful set of folks who focus on human trafficking offenses. And those cases raise their own sets of issues, unique issues as well. Again, where that's similar is that it's specialized. And prosecutors who understand those dynamics, understand how people end up getting trafficked and the dynamics, the power and control dynamics that exist there. Very different than domestic violence, but overlapping. And so having our prosecutors understand those dynamics in these different contexts is very important.
Let me think. Is there anything you feel like so far we're missing from this conversation?
You know, I would just emphasize that our decision to split this unit and create a special domestic violence unit and a special child victim unit really is a combination of trying to make sure that we have prosecutors who are focused exclusively on these unique types of cases and a response to what we're unfortunately seeing today, which is an increase in domestic violence. Those are things that led us to bring resources in from around the office, basically to expand the number of prosecutors and victim advocates and investigators working on these cases, because it is an issue that, you know, against this backdrop of violent crime dropping, really stands out as an exception.
I do want to ask, what does it do for a survivor to have an attorney who is well versed in this kind of a crime, being that person that they interact with? How does that benefit the person on the other end of this?
It's hard to overstate how important that is, because the emotional trauma that goes along with these cases, whether it's a terrible case against a child victim or a case of domestic violence where the relationship may be continuing, pose so many sort of special psychological considerations. Having prosecutors and victim advocates and investigators who understand those dynamics can make all the difference in the world.